it out. Nothing like the first sip. Morning, good morning, good morning. Today we're gonna harvest some corn. Let me turn this camera around and show you guys what we've got going on in the garden today. So I have since cleared this entire area here where the cucumber plant used to be. We had dill growing here, and we had rutabaga growing here. I've since harvested all of that. Now that I'm looking, I need to get out here today and harvest. Something is having a field day with, let me get out of the sun, with this leaf here. But I'm going to harvest some of these greens and some of that kale. That sorrel is looking really good behind the kale there. But what I really want to get into is trying to stay out of the way of the sun. What I really want to get is corn. Now, each of these stalks have grown more than 2 ears of corn, which I don't know if that's unheard of. I really didn't expect it, but at any rate, these two here are a little smaller, but they're ready, as you can tell by the brown tassels, which let me go around and get a little closer up on it so that I can show you. This one plant here has 2 ears of corn on it. A little closer, and it looks like a third one was trying to do a little something right there. This one here has 1 stalk here. And then we have an area here where it looks like it was trying to do a little something. Have this one over here, which is definitely not ready, because as you can see, the tassels here are still very yellow. These I know are ready because of how brown they are. And then also, which I'm not going to be able to do with one hand, but if you pull this back and reach, oh, I can see a little bit of corn right there. If you do you can do a finger test. It's like I said, I'm not going to be able to do this with one hand, I don't think. But if you pierce the corn, look at that. If I can focus, look at that. If you get a nice milky substance out of it, that means it's ready. It's ready to harvest. That, along with the fact that the tassels have turned brown. So I'm going to get this camera set up and come out here and harvest this corn. Yeah, buddy. I'm so decent and hype. Yes, I am. So this collard green plant, it's completely been taken over by white flies. The leaves are very limp, and a lot of them have been pretty much chewed. I'm trying to talk and make sure you guys are getting this. Let me move over to this side. But anyhow, chewed by, a lot of different pests. And, they're just not. This plant, I pretty much left it here because I just couldn't believe that it didn't bolt in the, throughout the heat waves that we had, 3 back-to-back heat waves this summer. And I really didn't think it was going to produce anything, and it did. And I harvested some of the leaves, and we ate some of them. And although they were good, collard green leaves to me do better after they've been kissed by a little bit of frost. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull. There's 2 plants here. I'm going to pull both of these up. I'm going to put them in the compost bin. And, just get ready to clear this whole thing out. Other than the row here that's still producing corn and still producing beans, I'm going to leave this here, and I'm going to try to get this whole side prepared for something else. I want to do a whole row of green beans here, which are over there in trays. You can see one of them sticking up from here. I've started seedlings in small cups over there, so when they're the size, I want to plant a whole row of green beans here. And I think here I want to do dinosaur kale and collard greens. And since these did so well here, I'm just going to fortify this soil with a little bit of compost from the back, and transplant also dinosaur kale over there. I'm going to transplant the dinosaur kale here, and put collard greens here. That's what I'm going to do for the fall garden. Now over here, I'm not going to take these stalks here that I've harvested the corn off of. I'm not going to take those out yet, just because I want to see what's going to happen with it. I don't know if anything happens after you pull an ear of corn off. Like I said, this is my first year growing corn, so I'm going to leave those 2. Here I had planted pole beans here because I wanted them to grow up this particular stalk here, but it has grown over this way and is growing up this stalk here. So we'll see what happens with that. But like I said, I'm not touching this row. I probably should try to get in here and harvest. Do I need to harvest any green beans? I don't see anything. The kale had also been taken over by white flies. As you can see, the leaves are very limp. So what I'm doing here is just hosing it down, making sure to get rid of all of those white flies before I put it into the compost bin. From what I know, white flies will overwinter. I'm not entirely sure about that. Don't hold me to it. I haven't Googled it or anything like that. But just as a precaution, like I said, I'm hosing it down just to make sure I get rid of all of them before I put it into the compost bin. When I came to dump the kale into the compost bin, I saw a small little caterpillar on those greens. So I finally found out where all those holes were coming from. And of course, it blends right in, these cabbage loopers. They blend right in with the greens, so sometimes it's you know, you don't know that they're there until your plants are completely destroyed. But at any rate, this stuff was I mean, like I said, the same with the collard greens. The leaves were very, very limp. The white flies has sucked all the juice out of the leaves, so no harm, no foul. It's really no loss, because this is just going into the compost. It's just going to give back to the soil the nutrients that it took from it. I'm not losing out on anything. So yeah, just another part of the circle of life, as I like to call the circle of gardening. And yeah, that's it. We're here. I might as well take a look and show you guys this compost here, which is breaking down fantastically. When it comes time to put this compost into the garden, that is going to be a beautiful addition to nutrients to this soil. So like I said, all the nutrients that have been taken out of this soil by excuse me, all the plants that have grown in here will now be put back into the soil that has been made by the remnants of the plants that actually grew here. So it's one of the great benefits of composting. All right, so the last thing in this row that I'm gonna pull up is this sorrel. You can see all the white flies flying. I don't know if you can see them in the video, but they're all displaced. And they're just flying around everywhere looking for a home. I'm going to harvest this sorrel. I know if I would have left it in the ground and just cut it about 1 inch above the soil, it would keep coming back. But I don't want it to. I'm just going to harvest this and make some tea out of it. And once again, I just want to start clearing out as much as I can in this area and get this ready for the fall. I changed my mind. It really doesn't make any sense to get rid of this entire thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it. Like I said, I'm going to cut it 1 inch above the soil. And I'm gonna replant this somewhere where I have some extra space. Now I was looking around the garden and I'm like, well, just because I don't want it over there, let me find somewhere where I can put it. And I had this space in here where I grew my first cucumber plant, and I had it in here with these marigolds. But since the cucumber plant had finished producing, the only thing I had in here was these marigolds. So I had that whole space back there. These marigolds will give this sorrel some shade. I'm going to water it in and let it do what it do, because this thing has been here since the beginning of the summer. I planted that in the garden in May, and I had chopped it off, about an inch above the soil, right before it started to get too hot for the sorrel to produce. And the entire thing came back, and it came back even better than it was the first time. So although I have ruined the root system a little bit, there's enough roots there where it can get a fresh start. I've put this in some cow manure, mix that in with the soil, so it'll get some good nutrients in there. And this is all I'm gonna have to do to it. Just water it down in there, and I'm gonna let it go. I'll see you guys in a couple of months, not even a couple of months, probably about a month, with an update. Hopefully I don't forget about it, but yeah, I didn't want to just let it go. Alright guys, so I wasn't able to record a lot of what I already did out here because my battery died, so I had to go charge my phone. But anyhow, I'm going to show you what I did do. I added some compost and some cow manure to this existing bed. Oh, excuse me. Just had some sparkling water, so the bubbles. Anyway, let me show y'all what's going on. All right, so like I said, I added some. Let me put my gloves on so I can show you how light and airy this is. Give me a second. All right, so I got down in here and mixed in, like I said, compost and cow manure with the existing soil. It was great to see that there were some earthworms in here. There were a lot of roly-polies, which people don't like in their home, but they're actually really great for the garden. But anyhow, what I had decided to do, I always mulch this outer area of this bed, because when they built this, they put concrete down, let me get back so you can see, down underneath it so that these pillars, I guess, could sit in. So all along here is all concrete anyway. So I use that as an area just to be able to stand. But what I find is that this entire center area here, I'm never able to fully get in there and maneuver and work the way that I would like to without stepping in the garden and then creating divots, which then create holes for puddles and things like that. So what I had started to just make a straw path in the center here, but I said, why not make a cardboard path and then put the straw over top of it? Because here's the thing, worms love cardboard. As I taught you guys over here, when I did this raised bed, how I covered the existing soil all underneath there with cardboard, and then covered the cardboard with compost that made a great area for the worms to come in, eat up the food, eat up the food that was decaying in the compost, and eat up the cardboard, and create an even better soil system. So I'm going to do that same thing over here. I'm going to make my walkway, continue to make my walkway as I was doing. I'm going to lay cardboard. I'm going to put just a little bit of compost on top of that, and then finish it off with some mulch. And then that will give me a nice area where I can walk. I can get in between here. It'll be thin, you know, as you can see. Yeah, so it'll be very thin, but it'll be just enough space for me to be able to get over here and harvest my green beans. So I'll be able to get the green beans from either side, which, although I'll probably get them from this side, having this here is more so that I can get here to my greens and kale that are going to be growing here. Because even from this end, when the corn isn't here, there's, like I said, there's just this whole area right here that you just can't reach. So I'm gonna get started building myself a little walkway here. Alright, so I am completely happy with the way that this looks. I'll now be able to get in there and work on this area here. I can work on this area here from where I'm standing, or if I'm kneeling, or whatever the case may be. Yes, this some may say that this is a very small area to walk, you know, and be able to turn around and all those kind of things like that. Yes, it is, but anything more and I would be taken away from too much growing space, and that's just something that I'm not interested in doing. So this is, like I said, enough for me to just be able to walk through, get in there, get whatever it is that I need to get, maybe pull weeds, you know, harvest, so forth and so on. The one thing that I didn't do that I should have done was I should have soaked that that cardboard, but being that I didn't, I'm just gonna go in with the hose and give this whole entire thing, this walkway where I put the cardboard underneath, I'm just going to give the whole entire thing a good watering, just to get that water nice and, I mean not the water, the cardboard nice and wet, and hopefully start attracting those earthworms. Alright guys, that's going to be it for today. I finished watering, getting all that watered in, and I felt down underneath, down to the cardboard, which we know isn't that far down, and it was nice and wet. As you can see right there, it's good and wet, so that'll just help with the process of that starting to break down. Once again, I'm happy with the way it looks, and I love that I'll be able to have a small walkway to get in and work on this side here. Didn't do anything to the raised bed today. I'm gonna have to do another video about that. I took the cover off of my seedlings. Got my beans are already coming up. Swiss chard dinosaur. I have more than enough dinosaur kale. This Japanese mustard greens, Japanese mustard greens. But anyhow, I'm not going to get into that either. I was going to transplant some of the kale in here, but then I realized I don't have any more row covers because I'm using the 2 that I have for over here. And I can't do anything without row covers because of the squirrels. So like I said, I'll come back and do another video about the transplants. But what I did do off camera was just came back here and clean. Oh, let me turn this off. And cleaned up this mulch area a little bit. I still have 2 piles here. And one over here that I need to get up, but the mosquitoes were being disrespectful. It's almost as if they didn't even care. Really, Tanya? If they didn't even care about the smoke. So I said, let me get up out of here. Plus it is like 3:30 and I've been out here since 10 this morning, so I need to go shower and find me something to eat. As usual, when I harvest, I like to do a video about what I harvest, what I'm cooking with what I harvested. But like I said, this video is already you know, fairly long, so I'm just gonna shut it down for the day. Look at the color in this quinoa. I'll be back really soon to do another video because there's just so much that I didn't get to talk about. How I staked this plant, this tomato plant that's still throwing off yellow pears. I staked that up even higher. Let me see, I am here and I'm 5'7", and it's still going. So yeah, we'll talk about that too. But in the meantime, yeah, take a little time today to love on yourselves. I thank you all for watching. I appreciate you for watching. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Please hit the notification bell so that you can be notified when I do post videos. I hope you all are enjoying your day, or if your day is just getting started, that you're beginning to enjoy your day. Look at that. Oh, that looks so beautiful. Anyhow, thank you all for watching. Black Coffee Gardener. I'll see you all in the next video.